Sometimes the fastest way to get an answer from our data is to ask a question using natural language. The Q&A option in Power BI allows users to explore their data using intuitive natural language and receive answers in the form of charts and graphs. The feature is truly interactive and fast, so let's see it in action. The feature is actually called Ask a Question. Before we proceed with Ask a Question, we need to double check our model. In order for Ask a Question to work properly, we need to make sure that all our tables are connected correctly and all the relevant columns are in the correct data format. For example, if we want to summarize a column that's got integer values, we need to make sure that it's got integer values. If it's something that's recognized as text, the calculations would not work and we would not receive the correct answer. So it's pivotal to us to make sure that our model, that our connections, that our columns are all in the right format. Now let's go back to the report view and let's test out the Ask a Question feature. So I'm going to click on Ask a Question from the home ribbon. And within seconds, there's going to be a pop-up window that says Ask a Question about your data. So the first question I'm going to ask is customers. If I just type in customers, this will return the entire customer table. Okay, this is perfect. However, we want to get them sorted by first name. So sort by first name. Okay, I'm going to press tab and I'm just going to expand this so you guys get to see that right at the end we see the column that's got first name. It starts with first name, so this is all sorted alphabetically by the first name. Now let's get a bit more creative and let's ask another question. So I'm going to say ask a question. So what do we want to know? We want to know the sales amount. So I'm going to say sales amount. So as soon as I just say sales amount, Power BI knows which table to look for. So it looks for fact internet sales and gives me a sum of sales amount. Okay, this is great. However, we want to have the sales amount by ship date. Okay, so we're going to say sales amount by ship date. We get the autocomplete. I'm going to press tab, and here's the sales amount by ship date. So do you see how clever, intuitive, and fast this actually is? So we got the sales amount year by year. The only thing we had to do is we had to type in sales amount by ship date, and boom, Power BI did the magic for us. Now, let's ask something a bit more sophisticated. So I'm going to ask another question. So let's say, give me the sales amount by email by country. So now we're asking Power BI to tell us the sales amount by email, as in email address, by country. So now the engine has created this chart for us. You can see we've got the email address here. We've got the sales amount and we've got the color coordination by country. So Power BI has suggested automatically this visual for us. So the clustered bar chart. You can always change that. So for example, if I change this to matrix, it's going to change the visual to a matrix chart. If we don't like the matrix chart, we can stick to the clustered bar chart. It's entirely up to us. This is fine. And final thing that we're going to ask Power BI would be another question. So another question that we would like to ask Power BI is how many customers we've got with sales amount that is equal to 499, let's say. So we can start by saying count. Then we're going to type in customer where sales amount is equal to 499. And this is sufficient for Power BI to understand what we want. So this is how many customers we've got with sales amount that's equal to 499. So this was our introduction to Q&A in Power BI. Following this lesson, there's a mini quiz where you guys are going to test your knowledge based on the things that we've learned in section 3. After the quiz, there is a mini project where you'll be asked to complete a task. So we'll see each other in the first video of our task.